You should follow anybody in Texas, particularly in the Austin area, should follow the story of Stu Sternberg, the great Stu Sternberg, which sounds like a made-up cartoon name. He's the owner of the Tampa Bay Rays. And you're going to say, Jeff, I'm sorry, why are we going to follow the story of Stu Sternberg, the owner of the Tampa Bay Rays? The reason, and we're a little bit ahead of the curve on this, but I've been through it enough so you can see what's coming our way, and this will be topical. The reason is that Major League Baseball owners are pressuring this guy to sell. And usually when other owners and the commissioner get together and say, we need this dude out, you're usually going to be out. Now, they'll pay you to get out. We've learned that from what happened with the Washington football franchise. But they want Stu out. And then I'm going to make a prediction. If and when he sells, guess what will immediately, even before the time that he probably sells and closes the deal, guess what will be mentioned immediately as a potential home? Yes, just like Austin is mentioned every time for every professional franchise, get ready for it. So we can do this thing now. I mean, we might as well start the process because I do think there will be another major league, another professional sports franchise in Austin pretty soon, sooner rather than later. It won't be the NFL. And I don't know if that happens in your lifetime. But there's something's coming our way because the professional franchise that's here now is just making far too much money for anyone to look the other way. Far too much money and not a very good product. Would Major League Baseball work here? And the answer is yes, but. Yes, but. The template has already been set with the professional soccer team, Austin FC. To succeed here, okay, it's a really different market. Okay, I know people automatically default to this place. Well, are there baseball fans or are there soccer fans? Or are this? No, it's not that at all. It's not it. It's not. Here's the good news and the bad news about when people start kicking around this idea of another professional franchise. I believe and said many, many times the San Antonio Spurs would be in Austin in a heartbeat if they had an arena. And the reason is you can make more money here. There is more disposable income. A night out is much more expensive and lucrative in Austin than most other places, certainly San Antonio. But to succeed here, and this is what Austin FC has proven until people turn on them because of the product, to succeed here, the experience has to be cool, okay? It can't just be stuffy and feel old. It has to be cool. It has to be comfortable, and that matters a lot, and it has to be convenient. Otherwise, people are going to go do something else. Okay, this idea, one thing about Austin is you can't buy into the idea that people have some sort of equity, that because it's the hometown team, they're automatically going to be there. They're not, because they're going to go do something else, because they can. But you pull off those things, I think it works. And I think Major League Baseball probably knows it would work. The product with Austin FC so far, outside of 1 year, has been meh. I know, I go a lot. But the experience is really good. The experience is everything I just said. It's cool. It's a good vibe, good food, good drinks. It's comfortable. They don't play in the middle of the day when it's 105 degrees. And it's incredibly convenient because of where it's located. So they check all the boxes off except the product. They don't have a winner. And sooner or later, that's going to turn on them, I believe. Sooner or later, the public is going to say, you know what? Yeah, I mean, the drinks are good, but I can go have a good cocktail anywhere in this city. But here's the thing. The younger demographic of soccer fans matches well with Austin. Baseball is going to be an older demographic. It's going to be an interesting setup. As soon as this guy gets closer and closer to selling, you're going to hear Austin mentioned several times, and you're going to hear it debated. You're going to hear face-painting sports fans say, oh, right on. But you got to dig deeper than that. And there's some upside and there's some downside. Why Major League Baseball in Austin doesn't work, I'll start there. Why it wouldn't work, it has nothing to do with the sport. Nothing. Virtually nothing to do with the sport. It's all about the stadium. It's all about the experience. It's all about a night out. It's not about loving the team. This isn't that market. It has to be cool. The stadium has to be convenient. The stadium has to have all these good food, the right kind of food, the right vibe. I mean, it has to replace a night out at a good restaurant or bar. You have to pull that off. You don't have to, this idea, well, they're going to cheer on the home team, Jeff. No, they're not. They're going to go elsewhere and eat and drink. That's what it's about. So they don't pull that off, which I think is a billion-dollar question. Whoever it is, whether it's Stu Sternberg or another ownership group, you don't pull that off, then forget it. I think Austin FC has one day game, and it's in March. One day game the entire season. It's in March. That's because it would be a miserable experience from May to October. The stadium has to be user-friendly. The stadium has to be convenient. The Major League Baseball stadium or any sports stadium, is, Austin is constantly mentioned as new markets. Remember the whole thing about the Buffalo Bills a few years ago? That was just leverage. There was never any intent to do that. They just leveraged that into the poor people, stupid people of Buffalo building a $2 billion stadium. But you have to be able to convince someone that coming here to check out a game and having drinks and food is as good or better than going elsewhere and having drinks and food. That's the business you're in. And then we get to the part about that stadium thing and who's going to build that. That's where I think the deal could potentially fall apart. There's 2,500 great bars and restaurants. I made that number up, but there's great bars and restaurants all over the city. So you've got to get someone to spend money with you instead of the bar, and that's not easy. And so, I was thinking about this because this is going to be ultimately the dilemma. This is going to be the thing they're kicking around because this guy that owns this team, the Tampa Bay franchise, he is fighting with them and been fighting with them for some time about a stadium. He wants a new stadium, and I'm not sure the people of that area even want to do it. They don't seem to care enough. And you know what else? Austinites are not going to build someone a stadium. Okay? There are two options here. You go all suburban and all suburban families, which means you're out of the city. Or you go for the Austin market, which is in the city. Suburban families and an older customer base might be a better path. I don't know. But then you're going to sacrifice what you can charge for drinks, what you can charge for shirts, all that stuff. Or you go into the Austin market, the actual Austin proper. Because remember, you're not going to, people that spend a lot of money going to a game, 30 and 40 somethings, who are expending a lot of money for cocktails and to buy $130 shirts, they're not driving 35 minutes, 45 minutes to a game. I mean, some are, but not enough. So they stuck Q2 Stadium in the middle of the domain, and it works because it's not far for a lot of younger people with money. So you go suburban and you go outside of town, which the taxpayers in suburban areas might build you a stadium. Yeah, you can win over families and it might be enough. But the risk is they're going to be like a lot of us with kids and say, my gosh, that's expensive. I can't have a $600 game day experience. No. So that's going to be the bottom line. That's going to be ultimately, you can say you love baseball or don't love baseball or want a professional team all day long until you decide strategically how you're going to do that stadium thing and where people are going to spend money. It's wasted energy. Austin FC is lucrative, okay? It's a franchise that's worth almost $1 billion already in a stadium that might hold 22,000 people. You know why? Because they sell stuff like crazy. I mean, you name the cocktail and it's for sale and they're selling them. I mean, they have tapped into an upwardly mobile Gen Z to millennial, maybe a little older, to spend money on drinks and jerseys. Those are really different strategic markets. If you want to do baseball and go suburban, then you got to get outside of town. You got to get the taxpayers to build you a stadium. And then you got to realize you're not going to be able to charge like they do at the Austin FC games. You're probably not going to be able to do that. So whenever this comes up, because it's going to. And it's going to get pretty old quickly. These are the issues. The thing that stops it from happening, okay? Because Major League Baseball will say, ooh, that's a lucrative market. Ooh, you can sell skyboxes there. Oh, you can sell reserved seats and all that stuff. I mean, my gosh, the soccer team is worth almost $1 billion, and it's not even any good. What stops it from happening? This is the weird thing about Austin for decades. Most people are not from here, so you have no idea what I'm talking about. Most people don't vote in local elections, so you really don't know what I'm talking about. But here's what stops it in its tracks. Hey, Austin, Jeff Ward here, and I never thought I'd be in an accident and need a personal injury attorney. And then sure enough, less than a mile from my house, I was blindsided. I was injured. My world was turned completely upside down. I called DJC Law, and their team took care of everything. I got the best result possible. Don't just take my word for it. They have over 1,000 five-star reviews. So if you're injured, call 512-888-9999 and get your justice at teamjustice.com.